guys, so my client reached out to me. She was like, this is something different. Would you be willing to do something like this? So of course I was like, hell yeah. And we booked our appointment. I don't necessarily pre-part, but I do braid with a plan. So you will see me part my rows and then I'll part each braid out in that row to make sure those braids are even in that row. When adding in your knotless box braids, basically the hair is going to the middle piece and the piece to the right. If you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, you will add it to the middle piece and the piece of hair of your clients to the left. You add it underneath the hair so that way it gives that knotless effect. And you're going to add as many as you have to make it feel like the thickness that you would like your braid to be. So once you get to the thickness you have it, you'll see me start to tuck the hair, my client's hair, to the bottom of the braid. That way her hair is protected and tucked under. And that way it looks more neater as well because it'll be just the braiding hair on top and not just a combination of different colors. So again, we're adding the braiding hair underneath the braids and you're adding it to the middle piece and the piece on the outside. This is one of the ways that you can add the hair in. I do like add it in different ways, honestly. This seems the most easiest to explain. And then you start to tuck your client's hair after you get all the pieces you want added in the knotless braid. So I already have her hair parted in the way that I want the layers. This is my last row of the butt length that we decided to go with. And then after that, I'll start working on the waist length. The top is parted to only be the bob length box braids. So once I finished the last layer, I decided that I actually wanted to make them a little longer. They originally were waist length. This is how I add the hair in. It's still going to the middle piece and the piece on the outside. Then I had to braid down all the braids that I added the hair to, which took quite a while. Once I was done with that, I finished the middle section was to our waist length, and the top part I parted in 3 parts, which included the sides so I could make sure that those braids were an even amount of braids, and then the middle part to be able to make it an even middle part, if that makes sense. Y'all, it's something about finishing them last couple of braids. I mean, we were nowhere near done because we still had a lot to do after this, but it felt great. It's been a while, especially doing small, knotless. It was amazing. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add mousse. I always add a generous amount of mousse. I did see like a method where people would put the mousse in the water and dip the hair, but honestly, to me, the mousse is most effective at the top of the head because it allows it to have that same effect that you would have when dipping the ends of the hair just at the top, which we can't dip in water, so. When dipping the mousse, I rub my hands through the hair to remove any loose hairs and tangles. During this stage, I will also end up cutting any hairs that at the end that I feel will tangle while I'm going to dip. Now it's time to dip the hair. Originally, the first dip, I dip it all the way to the top. And then after that, you'll see me dip the very ends 1 or 2 more times to be able to pull it straight as I can. Y'all, look at that. The hair is already looking so much better. After dipping it, you can tell it's not as stiff. It's way more flowy. It's even looking a little silky silk. Once I'm done dipping, I take that same hot towel and I pat the top part of my client's braids because that allows it to lay flatter. And now we're moving on to the beads. I started with the bottom butt length beads. We're adding 3 beads in to each braid. She brought some pink, white, and green beads. They were a mixture of big and small beads, and she said she wanted the big beads, so we started with that. Now we're moving on to the second layer. We're also still adding 3 beads, not in any specific order, but at some point I was concerned because we had a lot of small beads left and not so many big beads left, and we had no plans for the small beads. So I started searching, y'all, like I couldn't find them. But I decided to do a mixture of the small and big beads at the top, which came out really cute. It reminded me of like the wooden bead look. They have big and small beads. And I wish we ended up doing that all over the rest of her head. But, you know, we're here 2 hours later, so we ain't going back. And they came out so cute. I was so happy. She was so happy. I did forget to take pictures, so I was like, please send me some when you get home, girl. Send me a video, something, help me out. Anyway, if you want to see more, please like, subscribe, and share. Goodbye. It will be no lie.